Hi, this is Greg with Engaging Teacher. I'm starting a new TpT store, and guiding me through the process will be Rebecca. She started her TpT store over 5 years ago and has agreed to answer my questions and share her experiences running an online business. I've been practicing making slides, and so I put together a little presentation of 3 or 4 slides, and I wanted to get your input on what you think works or what you think needs to be improved. I made a cover page like you would if you were creating a presentation. Then I made what I call sidebar, meaning I put the title on the side of the slide instead of on top. And then I made a generic garden page and then also a credits page. So I was just wondering if we could go through these and you could let me know what you think and areas of improvement.
Sure. So the first thing that I want to say is that this is all entirely personal.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like, you might not like, and what you like, I might not like.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can tell you is probably what's going to appeal to the masses. And if you're going to be creating for the masses, you need to learn to appease them.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I know we talked about design ideas of making sure you include certain aspects like titles, clip art, things like that. So I'm trying to follow those lines as well.
Okay. So here you've got the title, Critique Project 3, tells that you are doing it and the things that you are doing. So a couple of things here. You've got a lot of what we call white space up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really serve a purpose. So I would say, let's see if we can figure out something there. Your green it doesn't really go with anything else. It doesn't not match,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have a purpose. Like, why is it green?
Okay.
Okay. Also, I don't know. I think that's it. You've got all of the components that you need. I would say maybe where you have the boxes around the outside of the thing, I don't know if you need that either. So what I did was I just created what I would do,
Okay.
and I'm going to let you look at it and see what you think about it, what you like, what you don't like, and then we can go from there.
All right.
Okay. So this is the same thing. It's got your same background here, the wood, Critique Project 3, your name. I took out the word by because I didn't think that was needed. You could certainly add that into mine, and then I kept your sidebar, garden, and credit page.
And you added a logo.
And I added your logo.
Okay.
So what do you notice?
All right. So now the whole screen is taking up.
That is one thing too. If you notice here, I only left, I don't know, maybe what is that, a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch?
Yeah.
It's not a lot, versus you had a lot showing.
Okay.
So you want the idea of the background to come through, but not so much of the background that it becomes overpowering, unless that's the point.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That makes sense. And then I see you used a neater font. I think I used a generic font or one that came with it. So I like the font better.
Okay. What do you like about this font?
I just think it's more eye-catching. All the letters aren't lined up exactly, but you can read it.
And I would say this one is chunkier. I don't know. It's got
Okay.
more width to it.
Yeah. It's easy to read. I use shadow, you use shadow, so that's the same. But it's more eye-catching, I guess, is what I would say.
Okay.
So yeah, I do like that. I do see where getting rid of the white space on the border makes sense. I think we kind of kept the same. The title is the biggest. My name's, the name of the company is middle, and then what's actually coming up is underneath. So that's the same. That works. And I see why the border, it looks better with less border on it. So, and then there's no third color in this situation. It's just the brown and the tan, which I think, it's a cover page. I'm sure you could mix it up, but you're right. Without the green, it does look better.
Yeah, so if you had a piece of clip art maybe and it had different colors in it, you could certainly add that in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the font that I used for the Critique Project 3 and then the Sidebar Garden and Credit Page, that's one type of font. Engaging Teacher is a different type of font, but it is similar in the fact that it is a thicker font. I also made them both the same color with the same outline on the font, so they have some continuity there, even though they are different styles.
I didn't even notice they were different fonts, but now that you say that, I can tell. They go together so well.
And that's what, there's a whole system called font pairing, where you can pick different fonts that go together. I am by no means an expert in it, but I really like to go visit like YouTube or some of the font creators, and they have guides for you that show which ones go together.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
All right. Let's go to your next one.
All right. So something else I noticed, I had labeled the slides in a certain order, and they're out of order. So important to keep in mind that if I put the slides in like a table of contents or on the title page, I need to put my presentation in that order. So this is the one I called Garden. So since I'm if I was selling this as a template, this is what I'm thinking about. So I'm making a background that other people might use to put their text on. So that was kind of my idea here. And now that I look at it, I can see that from the last one, I would say my border isn't out far enough, so you can see too much of my background. And I guess my next question is, does this slide match?
Kind of.
All right.
I think your border here is okay because the gingham, you want to get that, but you could certainly extend that out. Absolutely.
Okay.
My only thing would be is if you're trying to make this something for somebody to use as a template, we need to give them just a little more space to write.
So there's too much stuff on that.
Maybe. So I slightly rearranged it using the same clip artist that you did, and I just made a little bit of changes, not a lot, just a little bit, because I wanted to kind of show you the difference between the two. So this one, there's not a whole lot of difference, but what do you think between the two?
So to me, I would say there's less colors on there, so that there's just more yellows and oranges, where last time I had yellows, oranges, reds. And so maybe I had too much color, and so now the background really works well with the flowers. That my clip art guy is smaller, so there is more room on the slide for a template, but it's still, colorful, takes up a lot of space, but not too much, so people can actually use it.
And I think it still conveys garden too. So.
Yeah, and then the sunshine kind of gives me something up in the corner too, where before I had it just on the bottom half of my slide, I had stuff. So,
and this might be honestly something that's annoying for another person, because if they want more room, but they might put their title kind of up at the top and then put a little bit. So that, again, I might make, if I were doing to put this online, I might make one with the sun and without.
Oh,
super
okay.
easy to do, and then you give your customer some choices.
Okay, and I like I still use the gingham. You still use gingham, but the yellow is like softer. It doesn't. It works better, I think.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So again, and this was all the same clip artists that you used, all in the same bundles.
Yep.
I just chose a different one.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is what I called sidebar, just meaning I put the title on the side to give more room for the person to have a template for a slide to use. And I tried to put some of the clip art to the side to make it look like they're peeking in.
I love how this little guy is peeking in up here and this one's over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was kind of the idea behind that.
So a couple of things here. Again, I would say the size of this box is could be bigger.
Okay.
And then also, if you notice, and a lot of people do this, when you make a PowerPoint presentation and you insert a shape, it automatically gives it a blue border. See that it's very thin, very faint, but there is a very small blue border around this shape.
Oh,
And
okay.
you're only if you're neurotic, I think, maybe as I am, do you see it? But to me, it makes a really big difference in a finished product. And I can tell that you've matched this border here around the word lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can tell that you matched that, so it just seems like a little bit unfinished, maybe.
Okay. All right.
I also like that you matched the green box to the green little guys. I don't know if maybe orange guy is necessary or appropriate for whatever grade level, because I can just see this in the middle of my second grade class. What's that guy doing? Why does he look like that? Where's he going? Blah. And then it's a thing. And in the middle of your lesson, like everybody's freaking out. So,
Okay. All right.
he's cute, but just kind of keep that in mind when you're designing for teachers. Like, what impact is it going to have on the...
So the other monsters kind of have a different attitude,
Yeah,
or so
they're
the theme's
smiley.
a little different.
Yeah. He looks like maybe he's showing a lost tooth or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But these guys, I mean, maybe he's got a lost tooth up here, but yeah, these guys are like cute and happy and peeking, and he just doesn't fit to me.
So what would you suggest?
So what I did, again, using the same clip artists, but I changed a little bit, I changed the depth of the background, of the color of the background. I just used a lighter version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I like to make the area where teachers are going to insert their text white. It makes it easier for the kids to read in the classroom, especially if they're sitting at their tables or their desks.
Okay.
A white background just is crisper and easier to read.
Okay.
Okay. Now these are also the same little characters, but this clip artist had a bunch of options in there.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I wanted to get a little more color. And so I just used one of each one, but kind of all, again, like you were talking about with the mood. They're all kind of cute and happy and like little kid.
Yeah. So now this slide definitely says very young grade.
Yes.
Right. Where
Yep.
with the scarier looking guy, I kind of mixed up my grades there.
Maybe, yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And I'm noticing that I may be going too dark with my slides, and
I would say if you're creating for primary, I would stick to lighter and brighter. That just tends to be what the buyers prefer.
okay.
If you're going for older grades, though, darker is not inappropriate.
Okay.
Okay. And by older, I mean kind of maybe middle school to high school. But I would say anything up to like 4th or 5th grade, I would stick with a little bit lighter and brighter. I
Okay.
wouldn't do these little guys for a 4th and 5th grader because the teacher would get eaten alive.
Okay.
But, just the idea.
And I like how you made the lesson 1 use the colors of the clip art.
Yep. And that's all I did was I just did the color match for each little dude.
That's nice. Okay. All right. And then this was my credits page. So everybody I used, you have to give them credit. So I put a picture in, and then I also put the link to them as well.
Okay. So you have all the things that you need in here. I mean, this is perfectly fine.
Okay, I
The
call it
way-
a credits page. I looked at their whatever each artist's terms of use were, and I got all their logos and stuff like that in there. So I have everything I need, but that's just part of it, right? So what design ideas would you have for this?
So I really didn't change a whole lot. One thing that you could absolutely do on this is take this link and insert it into the logo itself, and that would make it very clean.
I see.
Okay, but I didn't do that for what I redid because I just wanted it to look very similar to yours.
Okay.
So this is really all the changes that I made for that one. Again, I just made the box a little bit bigger. I put a white background. I put the title at top. And the reason why this green, because here it doesn't apply to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think really that, here, this green kind of ties in with the monsters. So if you just took him out, like all that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I don't know why it's green. So
Okay. Yeah, and I do see the white background makes it brighter.
Yep.
Easier to read, maybe.
And then I centered the fonts, or the links rather. You have them all left aligned here.
Uh-huh.
I just centered them, and then I made sure that they were all aligned with each other and then centered to the logo.
I see. Okay.
So
All right.
not a lot of changes.
Yeah. Okay, good. I think that's all valuable information. I will use that in my next critique. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.